Electric cars are not a fad, they are a fundamental shift in how we move. Yet despite this change happening right before our eyes, a cloud of old ideas and persistent myths continues to follow them. These stories, often based on technology from a decade ago, can make it difficult to see the reality of owning and driving an electric vehicle today in 2025. The world of EVs moves incredibly fast. What was true in 2015 is ancient history now. So, let's take a calm, steady look at the facts. We will separate the outdated fiction from the present-day reality, using clear data and real-world examples to guide us. Our goal here isn't to convince you that electric cars are flawless machines sent from the future. They are not. Like any technology, they have their own set of challenges and compromises. But it is crucial that our conversations about them are based on up-to-date information. For too long, the same tired arguments have been repeated without question. This essay will tackle those arguments head-on. We will explore the most common myths, one by one, and see how they stand up against the evidence we have in 2025. It's time to clear the air and have an honest discussion about where this technology truly stands. We'll look at everything from the initial purchase price to the long-term environmental impact. We will investigate how long it really takes to charge one and how long you can expect the battery to last. Are they only useful for short trips around town, or can they handle the demands of rural life and adventure? By looking at the numbers and the vehicles available right now, we can build a much clearer picture. Dramatic close-up title card with price tag motif introducing the myth. Let's start with the biggest and most common myth of all, the price tag. For years, the story has been that electric cars are luxury toys for the wealthy. And for a long time, that was largely true. Early models were expensive to produce, and that cost was passed on to the first wave of adopters. However, the landscape in 2025 looks dramatically different. The primary driver of this change has been the plummeting cost of the single most expensive component in an EV, the battery pack. Manufacturing innovations, economies of scale. New chemistries have worked wonders. It's a story of incredible technological progress that often gets overlooked in headlines. The numbers tell a powerful story. Just over a decade ago, in 2010, the cost of a lithium-ion battery pack was over $1,200 per kilowatt hour. Today, that cost has fallen by more than 90%. As of this year, the industry average price for battery cells has dropped to an astonishing $89 per kilowatt hour. This massive cost reduction is the single most important factor making affordable EVs possible. It has fundamentally changed the economics of building an electric car, allowing manufacturers to design and sell vehicles that compete directly with their petrol and diesel counterparts on sticker price, not just on long-term running costs. This isn't just a theoretical change. We are seeing the results on showroom floors right now. The Chevrolet Equinox EV, for example, has launched with a starting price under the critical $30,000 mark, offering a family-sized SUV with excellent range for the price of a typical petrol-powered equivalent. This is a complex and nuanced myth, often summed up with the phrase long tailpipe, suggesting an EV simply moves emissions from the car to a power plant somewhere else. The argument points to the environmental impact of manufacturing the battery. It's true. Producing an EV, especially its battery, is more carbon intensive than making a traditional car, but that's only the beginning. To see the full picture, we must look at the entire life cycle: extraction of raw materials, manufacturing years on the road, eventual recycling. This is called life cycle analysis. Multiple independent studies around the world reach the same conclusion. Over its lifetime, a typical EV has a significantly lower carbon footprint than a comparable petrol or diesel car. The initial carbon debt from manufacturing is paid off relatively quickly by zero tailpipe driving. Payback speed depends on the carbon intensity of the grid used to charge it. In renewable-rich countries like Norway, Iceland, payback can be as fast as 1 to 2 years of driving. Grids that rely on fossil fuels, coal, or natural gas. Even in those scenarios, studies still show EVs emit less overall. That's because large modern power plants are far more efficient than millions of small internal combustion engines. Our electricity grids are also getting cleaner every year. Solar, wind, other renewable sources. As more renewables are added, every EV on the road gets cleaner. The image of an electric car being tethered to a slow wall socket for 8 hours or 10 hours is a powerful one, and it's a major source of anxiety for potential buyers. This myth comes from the early days of EVs, when charging infrastructure was sparse and high-powered. Charging was a rarity. People imagine being stuck for hours at a service station on a long journey, while you can still charge an EV slowly at home overnight. The world of public fast charging has undergone a revolution. The experience of filling up an EV on the go in 2025 is worlds away. The key development has been the widespread rollout of DC fast chargers, often called level 3 chargers. We are now seeing chargers delivering 350 kilowatts or even more, For a modern EV with a capable battery, you can add around 200 miles of range in about 15 to 20 minutes. That's roughly the time it takes to stop for a coffee, stretch your legs, use the restroom. It transforms long-distance travel from endurance to a simple break. Another monumental shift is the adoption of the North American charging standard, N8K. This fear is understandable. We've all had the experience of a mobile phone battery that barely holds a charge after just a couple of years. It's natural to project that experience onto a car. The myth is that an EV's battery will degrade quickly, leaving the owner with a useless car or a repair bill that costs as much as a new vehicle. This concern isn't supported by data from millions of EVs on the road. EV batteries are built to a much higher standard than small consumer electronics cells. Real-world data shows battery degradation is surprisingly slow. On average, EV packs lose about 2 to 3% capacity per year. After 8 years, most original range remains. After 10 years, most original range remains. The car doesn't stop working. It has a slightly reduced maximum range, mostly unnoticeable for daily driving. Warranties typically guarantee around 70% capacity. If it degrades beyond that, manufacturers must repair it or replace it. A battery at 70% capacity is still valuable for energy storage. For a long time, electric cars were small, had limited range, and were primarily designed for urban commuting. The earliest popular models fit this description, creating a lasting impression that EVs aren't suited for life outside the city, impractical for people in rural areas. Impractical for those who need to haul things. Impractical for anyone who enjoys venturing off the beaten path. A fragile technology that can't handle the rough and tumble of the real world. In 2025, that picture is out of date. The market is now full of capable EVs for every lifestyle. The rise of electric trucks and SUVs has shattered the myth. Powerful, rugged, and highly capable electric vehicles, just as at home on a farm, on a muddy trail, or in a supermarket car park. The Rivian R1T is a proven off-road machine, quad-motor traction and control. It can wade over 3 feet of water and has a towing capacity that rivals petrol trucks. A true adventure vehicle, electric. Section 8. Acknowledging the real hurdles, the road ahead. Busting myths doesn't mean the transition is challenge-free. Be honest about valid concerns in 2025. Ignoring these issues does a disservice. 2 major hurdles we still face are the reliability of public charging infrastructure, the capacity of our electrical grids. These are engineering and logistical problems being worked on. Charger reliability is a major frustration for many drivers. You arrive at a public charger shown available on an app. The charger is broken. Networks are expanding rapidly, but maintenance is a huge operational challenge. The answer is yes, with smart management. Solutions are being deployed every day. Section 9. Conclusion. Driving past the myths and into the future. We've taken a journey through the most persistent myths surrounding electric vehicles in 2025. We started with the idea that EVs are a fad, but the reality is they represent a permanent and accelerating shift in personal transportation. We've seen how the story that they are too expensive for the average person is being dismantled by falling battery costs, now at $89 per kilowatt hour, and the arrival of compelling, affordable models like the Chevy Equinox EV. The economic case for EVs, considering purchase price and lower running costs, is stronger than it has ever been. We challenged the environmental myth of the long tailpipe by looking at the full life cycle analysis, which consistently shows that EVs are cleaner than their petrol counterparts. The future of driving is here, and it's electric.